This wasn't just another Coldplay concert. It was the night a billion-dollar scandal broke live on the big screen. 60,000 fans watched in real time as a CEO and his employee got caught in a moment they couldn't take back.
I'm not quite sure what to do. Did we drop on you?
On camera, in front of the world. But here's the twist. The woman runs the company's workplace ethics. The man, married, and just when the internet thought it couldn't get more awkward, Chris Martin himself spoke out. What he said left people stunned. It all happened during Coldplay's show at Gillette Stadium. The concert was electric, the crowd was buzzing, and the cameras were doing what they always do, scanning fans for lighthearted moments to project onto the Jumbotron. But one unexpected cutaway changed everything. The camera suddenly landed on a man and a woman completely wrapped up in each other, smiling like they were the only two people in the world, until they realized they weren't. In an instant, the mood shifted. He ducked, she froze, and tens of thousands of fans saw something they were never meant to. But then, things get even crazier. It started like any other magical night at a Coldplay concert. Lights dancing across the sky, fans singing in unison, and Chris Martin pouring his soul into the music. Gillette Stadium was packed with over 60,000 people, all caught in the moment. But halfway through the show, the energy shifted. The Jumbotron, meant to highlight ecstatic fans having the time of their lives, instead zoomed in on a pair who were way too close for comfort. The camera cut to a man and a woman embracing tightly. They weren't just swaying to the music, they were wrapped in each other, grinning, whispering, completely unaware of the tens of thousands of eyes suddenly locked on them. For a brief moment, it looked sweet. Then it got awkward, very awkward. That moment of bliss turned to sheer panic the second they realized they were being broadcast across the stadium. The man, Andy Byron, quickly ducked down behind a railing as if he thought he could disappear. The woman, Kristen Cat, froze, her face stiff with dread, then immediately covered her mouth and eyes like a deer in headlights. You could almost feel the tension ripple through the crowd. Some gasped, others laughed, and some just sat stunned, trying to figure out what they'd just seen. But the concert didn't stop. Chris Martin kept playing, probably unaware of the unfolding drama. Yet in the stands, that single camera shot had already hijacked the night. Dozens of fans whipped out their phones. Within minutes, the footage was all over social media. What began as a feel-good Coldplay sing-along had morphed into a front-row seat to a corporate disaster, and no one could look away. And what made this moment go viral wasn't just the cringe factor. It was the mystery. Who were they? Why did they panic? And what exactly were they hiding? That curiosity lit a fire online, and fans didn't take long to find the answers. The couple, Andy Byron, the CEO of a billion-pound software company called Astronomer, and Kristen Cat, the company's chief people officer. Yep, CPO, as in the person in charge of building trust and managing workplace relationships. Within hours, the footage was plastered across TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit. Users weren't just watching, they were digging. Who were they? Why did they panic? And was this really happening? Turns out, Andy is married. Kristen is his subordinate. And their company, Astronomer, is now the center of an online firestorm. The irony didn't go unnoticed, especially since Kristen's entire job revolves around setting workplace boundaries and maintaining professional culture. As one user put it, when your HR boss breaks every rule she's supposed to enforce, live at a Coldplay show. The scandal exploded into something bigger than just two people caught being messy. It became a public referendum on power, ethics, and what happens when private decisions go very, very public. For many, the whole thing felt like it was ripped straight out of a Netflix series. Corporate drama meets pop concert chaos. Memes took over, threads popped up speculating about their future at Astronomers. But while the internet roasted, there was one voice no one expected to chime in: Chris Martin himself. Under a viral post showing the footage, Chris left a subtle but pointed comment. He wrote, "Not what I expected to happen at one of our concerts. I don't think anyone expected that, and it came as a surprise to everyone who saw it. I think the people who were most shocked, though, were Andy and Kristen." Fans instantly latched onto the comment. Some praised Chris for keeping it classy. Others said it was the ultimate soft roast, calm but cutting. Either way, it added fuel to a moment already burning online. But the conversation didn't stop there. As the video gained traction, more people began to express concern, not just about the affair, but about the ripple effects. What about Andy's family? Kristen's reputation? The employees under her leadership who now have to navigate this awkward fallout? Coldplay fans joked about the chaos, but many pointed out how deeply uncomfortable the situation must be behind the scenes. After all, it wasn't just an affair, it was a leadership crisis exposed in 4K. Astronomer, the company at the heart of the mess, has yet to release a public statement. But insiders say the internal atmosphere is tense. With pressure mounting, speculation is growing about possible resignations, reassignments, or an investigation being quietly launched behind closed doors. Some employees have reportedly scrubbed their LinkedIn connections to both Andy and Kristen. Others are watching from the sidelines, waiting to see if leadership will step up or implode. You'd think the internet would have moved on by now, but no. Days later, the clip is still going viral, still racking up millions of views, and still drawing fresh reactions by the hour. People can't stop watching it, breaking it down frame by frame like it's a Zapruder film for corporate drama. Comment sections are flooded with reactions. Some are hilarious. Users are editing Coldplay lyrics over the clip like "Fix You, Annie the Scientist," while others are treating it like a live-action episode of Succession. But beneath the humor, there's a darker undertone. This wasn't just an awkward moment, it was a workplace scandal caught in 4K, and people are starting to realize just how many layers there are to this. The timing, the optics, the body language, it's all being dissected. Viewers are debating whether this was just an innocent moment between two consenting adults, or the public unraveling of a power dynamic that was never supposed to see daylight. The fact that Kristen, as Chief People Officer, was responsible for safeguarding workplace culture only makes it worse. It raises the question, if this is what's happening at the top, what message does it send to everyone beneath them? Then there's the ripple effect within Astronomer itself. Employees have reportedly gone quiet on LinkedIn. Some have started untagging themselves from posts. Others are speculating in anonymous forums about whether HR is conducting damage control behind closed doors. And while no formal statement has been made by the company, insiders claim leadership meetings have turned tense and private Slack channels are melting down. Outside the office, the families involved are also part of the public discussion, though involuntarily. Viewers are pointing out how devastating this must be for Andy's wife and children, who now have to relive this humiliation every time the clip pops up in a meme or parody. What was a 2-second blip on a stadium screen has become a looping public scandal with very real consequences. And here's the thing, this isn't just about one CEO and one concert anymore. It's become a conversation about privacy, accountability, and the terrifying reach of viral exposure. In a world where one camera shot can rewrite your career, your marriage, and your public image, what does that mean for anyone else watching from the sidelines? Because in the age of instant virality, it only takes one moment to change everything. In the end, this wasn't just a Coldplay concert gone awkward, it was a reminder that cameras are always rolling and the internet never forgets. A billion-dollar CEO, an executive entrusted with ethics, and a pop star who stayed just diplomatic enough to keep us guessing. One concert, one kiss, and one very public reckoning that might just change everything behind the scenes.